about order of operations. Order of operations, you might have also heard this as PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And what that means is it organizes how we're supposed to complete long, complex problems with parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, all of these things together. How do we split it up? How do we deal with it? And a lot of what we do in math is looking at things in chunks. It's hard to look at this whole thing, but we can look at all these little pieces and make it simpler for ourselves. So with PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, it tells us what order we should be looking at everything. So we start with what's in the parentheses, then exponents, multiplication, then division, then addition, then subtraction. So looking at this, so how I like to go through it is I like to ask myself, okay, are there parentheses in this question? So are there parentheses? Yeah. So we want to deal with the parentheses first. So first we're going to do 6 plus 7. So 6 plus 7 will give us 13. When I've done that part, I'm going to erase that section because I've taken it and I've made it simpler. I've done that piece and made it simpler. What you can also do is you can also drop it down and just say that this is my next part. So parentheses, done. Exponents, no exponents. Multiplication. So when we have parentheses right next to a number, that means multiply. So in this case, this means that we're going to multiply. So 3 times 13. And if you have your calculator, now's the time to start trying to use that calculator if you'd like. If you want to keep practicing without your calculator so you get it, that's fine as well. All right, so we have 39. So our answer is 39. So this just gives us a way of looking at everything. Obviously, we could keep going if we still had pieces. We say, okay, is there division? Is there addition? Is there subtraction? So let's look at the next one. We have 48 divided by 4 plus 4 in parentheses. All right, so let's start at the top. Do we have parentheses? Yes, this 4 plus 4. Another way to organize yourself in these problems that I really like to do is I like to do this part. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So I'm going to rewrite the whole problem with that piece in it. And I'm going to keep going until I'm left with just one part. And that's just the answer. So then we have 48 divided by 8. So when I do 48 divided by 8, I get 6. So 48 divided by 8 is 6. Again, you can type that into your calculator. You can try to do it by hand. Either way works. So from this longer problem, we get a 6. So let's try one that's a little more complicated. So each of these are going to get a little more complicated. So let's try this one. 40 divided by 4 minus 5 minus 3. All right, so start at the top. Parentheses. So we have parentheses right here. 5 minus 3 will give us 2. I'm going to keep those parentheses. Okay, next step, exponents. No exponents. And multiply. I kind of have multiplication in this. If you have a negative outside of parentheses, there is an invisible 1. Anytime you have that negative outside of parentheses, it's a negative 1. So negative 1 times 2 give us negative 2. So again, just copying there on the rest of the problem so I don't forget any piece. Next step, D, divide. Yep, I have divide right here. So 40 divided by 4, I know that's going to give me 10. And I'm going to bring down the rest of the problem. Addition, no addition. Subtraction, so 10 minus 2 8. So my answer is going to be 8. So try this next one on your own. This problem, we want to start at the top with the P. So we're looking at the parentheses. So we have parentheses in this one, this whole section. So what do we do if there's more than one operation in parentheses? The same rules apply. So then we look at the parentheses as its own problem. So no parentheses, no exponents, no multiplication, no division, addition. So let's do the addition first. So 6 plus 25 give us 31. Bring down the rest of the problem. Then we subtract. So when we subtract, and again, I'm going to come over here and do it by hand. 24. We're going to get 24. So what I'm going to do is 24 and put it in this part. So 24 divided by 6. That's what that means right there. So I can even divided by 6. This is just another way that you might see division written. So keep going. No exponents, no multiplication. We have division. So we have 24 divided by 6. 24 divided by 6 will give us 4. So you should have gotten 4. So try this next one on your own. We're going to, again, follow the same steps every time. If it helps, write PEMDAS on the top of your paper, pardon me, so that you can remember that these are the steps you follow every time. Again, like I said, same steps every time is what's going to help you remember how to do these on the test. So, parentheses, no exponents, multiply. Well, we have multiplication right here. So 10 times 5 give us 50. Bring down the rest of the problem. Do we have division? Nope. Do we have addition? Yeah. So we have two different sets of addition, sorry. And we're going to start by just dividing left to right. So 7 plus 50 will give us 57. 57 plus 10 will give us 67. So our answer you should have gotten was 67. All right, try this last one. Should be getting easier the more that you're doing them. The more you're becoming familiar with this PEMDAS, you should be able to go, okay, parentheses, okay, exponents, okay, multiplication, division, and so on. So let's look at this one. Parentheses. Yes, we have parentheses right here. So 6 minus 4 will give us 2. Again, remember that this is the same thing as saying division. It just is easier to write. So exponents, no exponents. Multiplication, well, we have multiplication right here. So we have 49 times 2 will give me 98. So 98 over 7. So 98 divided by 7. So that's my next step. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do it by hand. Again, just so you kind of see how to do them by hand again and again. So it'll give me 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Subtract that, bring down the 8. 7 goes into 28 4 times. And 4 times 7 is 28, so that leaves us 0. So your answer, you should have gotten 14. All right, so in the next section, we're going to be doing more complicated orders of operations dealing with PEMDAS.